SMD Law is the official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Check them out on the interwebs at smdalaw.com or at 866-529-3537. No matter where you are in the state of Michigan, Upper Peninsula, Lower Peninsula, it doesn't matter. They have an office near you. So whether you need to send a letter to an annoying neighbor, or you're a criminal and you need defense, maybe you just have problems with elder law, check them out, smdalaw.com today. The official law firm of the Spartan Nation. Call them first, then you act.
Welcome back, Spartan Nation Radio. We now bring in the one and only, the iconic wonder himself, the ageless wonder. A man who they use his sweat and have discovered it is the fountain of youth. The great Coach Chuck Kinnear. Coach, how are you?
I'm doing great today. How are you?
You don't seem to be buying what I'm selling there about you, Coach. What's wrong?
Well, yeah, it's so much of it is true, and I'm just trying to be humble.
Coach, I want to dig in with you today. It is, as you know, it's Big Ten Media Week coming up in Chicago. And so I want to talk to you about, as the college football season kicks off, what are some things you're hoping to hear from Mark D'Antonio in Chicago at Big Ten Media Days?
Well, I'm hoping to hear, because we've heard so much about the possibility of some added offense, that maybe he'll talk a little bit about that. I'm hoping to hear that there seems to be somebody emerging, maybe that the running game is going to be picking up, that we're going to have somebody emerge as a feature back. That would be nice to hear something along that line. And that everybody seems to be going into this season, or our players are going into the season real healthy, no injuries, and nothing to be concerned about. So I'd be interested in hearing about those three things.
All right, what do you want to hear from the players? What are some things you want to hear from them?
I like to hear the enthusiasm. I know that all three players that are representing us are from the defensive side. I know that the defensive side is going to be fine. I know we have great players on the defensive side, defensive linemen, the linebackers, and the secondary. I'd like to hear them maybe saying they were excited about the offensive side of the ball. So that would be encouraging to me.
Coach, I want to ask you about the game of college football. I'm concerned about it. If you were made commissioner and told you could change any rules, what would you change about college football?
Oh, I don't know. That's a good question. You kind of got me on the spot there. Change in college football. I don't have anything that comes right off the top of my mind right now. I think the college football game is pretty good. One of the rules that came in last year that I thought was really pretty good was the fair catch rule. As a past coach, I always hated seeing people, my players, get any kind of injury at all. And the fair catch on the kickoff, the kickoffs always were a concern to me because there's so much risk of so many bodies flying around. So I like that rule quite a bit. But I don't think there's anything. I really enjoy the college football, especially the overtime policy that they have about finishing a game. I like that too. So I'm pretty content right now with what is going on in college football.
Coach, Art Briles, the disgraced Baylor coach, is now the head coach at Mount Vernon, a small college in Texas. Do you have a problem with it?
Well, second chances. America is built on second chances, and the way things have been going lately, third and fourth chances. But if you want to hire somebody and they prove themselves better, I guess that's okay. But it gets to be a real muddy mess in college athletics. That when you have coaches that cheat and do other things, and I just don't see where that's at, and I really don't have a lot of problems with him getting a chance there. I mean, he's at Mount Vernon, is it, or something like that?
It's a high. Yes, it's a high school, not a college. That's a high school.
Oh yeah. Well, there you go. Teaching the youth some kind of lesson there, I guess. So, no, That's where he belongs, I guess. Stay away from the recruiting thing.
So do you have a problem with him doing it, or are you happy for him?
Well, I'm not happy, but the guy's a football coach, and let him coach football at the high school level. Don't get him in there where the big money's going to be involved and where things can go bad again. So I guess I'm okay with it.
Good deal. We're talking to Coach Chuck Grenier, and he joins us each and every week for the good, the bad, and the ugly with Spartan Athletics. We started talking Spartan football, then I had to just get in a question about Art Briles because I wanted to get his thought on Art. Coach, you and I have talked a lot about Michigan State football, and we talked before about selling alcohol in the stadium and everything else. But as numbers dwindle, they're going to have to do something besides the obvious, which is the on-field product. What are some things do you think Michigan State needs to do to make going to the game an experience that people want to do again? I mean, ticket sales are plunging, and it's not just having at Michigan State, it's having at other places, but it is having at Michigan State. What do you think they need to do?
Well, the alcohol problem, and I know I've mentioned this before, I'm totally against alcohol in the stadium. There's enough of that problem that is out there. I do not attend pro football games because of the problems in the stands resulting from alcohol. There's just obnoxious people there. I think in order to get more people in the stands, it's like that movie. If you build it, they will come. If you win, they will come. So there'll be some excitement there. There's always going to be excitement for a winning team. But I don't know. If you put a good product on the field and it looks good, win, lose, or draw, people will come. But if you're going to put a product out there that is dull, that's just not going to put people in the fans. So I think that's what you got to do. You always have to have a good PR guy up front, athletic director, instituting some kind of programs or something along that line to make it worthwhile for them. So,
Coach, do you think they should? I mean, all of the archaic rules they put in that have killed everything from Munn Field to tailgating. Do you think that's something they've got to address and fix?
The tailgating thing, I think, needs to be fixed. I don't know if college football can solve that, but our society as a whole, and the football game almost becomes secondary to going and just been partying crazy. So, I think that needs to be fixed. I think maybe a more of a police presence or security presence around the area of the stadium. Try to slow things down so that it's just not such an all-out booze fest party. I really don't like that. I've always been one of the people, if you're going to be doing something, just go ahead and do that. The football game should not be a secondary thing to a party. So maybe more of a security presence around the stadium would be something to do.
All right. Coach, Michigan State needs to pick up offensive tackles, running back, or backs, and a quarterback for the next recruiting class. They've got a good, solid stable of recruits in this class. But at those three positions, they're greatly hurting. How concerned are you about that as a fan and as a coach? I mean, running back, offensive tackles, and quarterback is a big thing to have a need at, but it also speaks to where this team has really struggled.
Again, if you produce, if you show something that is going to be, well, here's the thing about recruiting for Michigan State football. The defense is going to be so solid that you're not going to have anybody, or that you're going to be able to pick pretty much what you would like to have come and recruit for Michigan State as far as defensive players, because they're showing that the defense is strong. Defensive players are enjoying being on the defensive side, and that's got to translate over to the offensive side. So you've got to make the offensive side of the ball attractive to offensive players. And this is what you have to do from game one to the last game of the season. And then history shows under Mark D'Antonio that the offense generally starts out pretty slow and then builds momentum throughout the course of the year. He does get a little bit old-fashioned, or he's one of those coaches that holds stuff for later so that other coaches don't see it. Well, the way that recruiting goes right now, that is used against him. And the way that football is going right now, there is nothing that they can do offensively that another team has not seen in some way, shape, or way through the course of the years. And through Mark D'Antonio's years, too, because it really is not a real complicated offense. And so what you have to do, if you want players to come, you got to generate the excitement. So throw the ball, run the ball, throw some trick stuff, make it interesting, make it exciting, and win ball games. And that will come through. But yeah, you don't pull the wagon without the horses. So you do have to get those good recruits.
The good, the bad, the ugly with MSU football with the one and only, the legendary wonder, Coach Chuck Grenier. Coach, I've been asked to ask you again, are you going to get a Twitter account?
Say that one again. You came out.
Are you going to get a Twitter account?
A Twitter account. I'm working on it. Put it that way. I'm working on it.
We'll be back.
I'm working on it.
We'll be back.